What's going on, you guys? It's your man James, aka JP, back again with another Toy Room review. And yes, we are taking a break from the Toy Room tour updates, organizing videos, whatever you want to call them, to do a review on this brand new figure, because I am super excited and can't wait anymore to review this figure. Now, this is the Loyal Subjects BST AXN, which is a short abbreviation for Best Action, and this is their Avatar: The Last Airbender Cosmic Energy version of Aang. Now, what I really love about this figure is that it is such an obscure figure. It's a small reference to a very small particular episode in a very small part of the show, and I just love seeing stuff like this, because how many times can we get, you know, the same exact Aang over and over again? So I'm very happy to see this figure. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the packaging. So just taking a look at the packaging, you obviously have right here what the reference point for this figure is, and I really love that. And then, of course, get the open window that fully shows the figure as long as all the accessories. So you have 3 different head sculpts in total: the body, all these hands, the staff, and then this little effect right here. Down here you can see the Avatar logo as well as Aang Cosmic Energy. Then coming to the side, you just have the standard image of Aang right there, and on the back you can actually see the figure recreating that cartoon pose right there. So this is taken straight out of the cartoon, and then this is the figure recreating that. So I really do love that. And you do get a little bit of a read up right here, and then you can see all the accessories included. And it says incredible sculpt details, and then that's pretty much it for the packaging. The rest of the packaging is pretty basic and standard. So let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer detailed look at it. Alright, you guys, and here is the figure out of the packaging. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the accessories that he comes with first. So he does come with 3 sets of interchangeable hands, not including the pair that's already on him. So the first pair that we have here is this open pair right here that the camera's having a hard time focusing on because they are so small. There we go. So he has this open hand right here. He gets a left and a right pair. This is mainly going to be used for holding his staff. So we have those, and then we have these open hands right here, and these are mainly going to be used for the air effects that he comes with, which we'll take a look at in a second, but these are still very nice. I love the arrow details right there. And then the last set of hands that he comes with are these open fisted hands, and again, trying to focus on them, they are very small. There we go. So you can see the open fisted, or the closed fisted hands right here. There we go. So very nice details there. Another thing that we get that we're all pretty familiar with is his staff. Now this is just your simple staff. There's nothing special to it, but this is the Season 3 version of the staff, so it is that newer staff design. Then we also get these really cool air effects, and I love the paint or plastic that they use for these. Obviously it's done in like this glow-in-the-dark sort of paint. Instead of just being clear, it's got like a green hue to it, and I really do like that. I don't know if this figure actually is glow in the dark. We will take a look at that later on in the video. Alright, so as you guys can see or not see, the figure definitely does not glow in the dark, which is pretty disappointing. But I do love these air effects, and you get 2 of them. They are exactly the same, so you can have him using his hands, or you can even probably attach it to the staff. We'll take a look at all that later, but I do love these air effects. And then lastly, you do get some interchangeable heads. You have this very happy expression. This is definitely not one I'm going to be using, and I think this is slightly different than the one we've gotten before. He has a closed smile. On the one we've had before, he had an open smile, but yeah, definitely not a fan of this one at all, so won't be using this. And then we have this one here, just a very you know, Avatar state raged out Aang right here. You can see even got the paint detail in the mouth right there. Very nice. And then that is it as far as the accessories go. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the figure. Alright, you guys, and here is the figure out of the packaging. Now, I will say right off the bat, this paint all throughout the figure and the accessories is just phenomenal. You can see, just with the lights bouncing off of it, all the metallicness, all the little flakes and everything inside of the paint, and even just the shading in the paint. You can see, like, right up here in the shoulder, you have that, like, black, almost like a dark purple that goes into that lighter metallic purple, and that paint shading just goes all throughout the figure. You can see the front of the head, you have that purple, but then it kind of goes into that darker purple, almost black all throughout the back. So it just looks really nice. And then you have this, I want to say it's glow in the dark, but I don't know if it is. We will test that out towards the end of the video. But you have this glow in the dark looking paint right here, which just looks incredible. And if this ends up not being glow in the dark, I think I'm going to go over this with some glow in the dark paint just to do a little customization and really bring this figure to life. But overall, I am a really big fan of just how this figure looks as we move all the way down. So obviously this is based off of Season 3 Aang, so he is in his Season 3 outfit, as you can see right here. Even though it is all just one solid piece, you can still make out all the details and wrinkles there. And man, this paint is just absolutely amazing. It's one of the best paint jobs I've seen on a figure in recent memory. It just just looks incredible. They could have gave this paint here, I don't know what this is kind of like a lighter blue. They could have went a little bit more heavy on it and just gave it one more coat, because you can kind of see the purple kind of seeping through. So that is something I would have liked to see, but otherwise just a phenomenal paint job as we go all the way around. And you can see the hands that come with this figure are just kind of just your normal to the side hands, nothing special about them, and just amazing wrinkles all throughout. And man, I really can't get enough of this paint. I love the transition here. Again, you go from that purple, that brighter metallic purple, into that darker purple. It almost goes into like a black, which just looks incredible. And then as we come down here to the legs and the feet, pretty simple as far as the sculpt and everything goes, but man, that paint is really what sells it on this figure. So let's go ahead and interchange the head sculpt. So it should be as simple as just popping this one off with a little bit of force. There we go. So we got the head off, and we'll go ahead and put the angry one on. And I may have to heat the plastic up ever so slightly because it is giving me a little bit of resistance. Okay, so here we are. I would recommend at least heating the heads and the peg a little bit, because that was very tough to get on, and it's not fully on, I would say, but I mean, it's like this is a really tight fit. You can see I can barely even move the head, so definitely should have at least heated up the plastic a little bit. But as far as the head sculpt goes, here you go. So I really do like this one a lot. I'm torn between these two. They're both kind of more angry, but this is like just a more kind of calm and relaxed angry, and then this is more just like all out rage mode. So I'm not really sure which one I'm gonna go with. This was a really tough decision, man. Let me know down in the comments below which one you would go with. I'm torn between these two. And then we'll go ahead and put the happy one on just for the sake of taking a look at how that looks. But yeah, definitely not a fan of this one. So let's see if I can actually get this head off. I'm going to do that off camera. Okay, so that was a little bit easier to get on than the other one. And this isn't a bad head sculpt, don't get me wrong, but just for this figure and that time and moment in the show, I don't think that this head sculpt really works with this figure, as far as like, you know, because this figure and this character in the show, this moment in time, he was very angry. So I don't think that this one really works with it too much. It's a great head sculpt, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it goes well with this figure. So I definitely won't be using this head sculpt whatsoever. All right, so here's Aang holding the staff, and I do have to hold him up because I did put the air effect on the end of the staff, and he is a little top heavy. And does kind of, you know, fall over a little bit. Like if I balance it correctly, I can kind of get him to stand up, but he is going to be prone to falling over, as you can see right there. But the air effect works really well. I do like how that looks a lot, so that is a really good option. I may display him like this, I'm not entirely sure. But now let's go ahead and switch the air effects and put them on his hands and switch out the hands and everything, so we can take a look at how that looks. Okay, so I was wrong. You actually are meant to use these hands that came on the figure in order to use these air effects. I thought you were going to have to use these more open-ended hands right here, but that is not the case. The camera's not even focusing, but yeah. These open-ended hands do not work. So the way that these air effects work is that they have this little slot right here, and it's really meant for this hand to slide into. Now, I don't know if it's actually meant for the staff to go in there, but it actually works no problem. So that's all I did right there, was just kind of insert the staff into that little opening right there. But you are meant to use these hands on the figure. It's meant to slide in just like so. Just get the, I'm trying to get the thumb in there without bending it back. There we go. So you can get the air effects on him like that. And I don't know, it looks okay. I mean, I'd probably have to like mess around with the pose a little bit to kind of make him look cool. But I think it actually looks better on the end of the staff than it actually does like this. Not a huge fan of how that looks. It's an okay option. I'm glad that there is that option. But I do much rather prefer taking it off of the hand and then just inserting it into the staff like so. I think that looks much cooler. Yeah, big fan of that. And just really quickly to go over the articulation, because this figure has a ton of it. The head can go basically full 360, left and right, up and down. It's on a ball joint, but like I said, the ball joints are very tight, so it's really hard to get any sort of motion the way it is. You definitely will need to at least heat this up a little bit. The arms can do a full 360, however, this one here is hindered by the shoulder piece, but if you look at this one can do a full 360, which is very nice. Now, another thing that I noticed is for some reason this side of my figure is very loose, as you can see. I mean, it's not terrible, but just comparing that to this side here, you can see I'm not getting any bend in the elbow unless I actually like force it and want it to bend. where this one I kind of just tap it and it starts bending. So not a big deal, and it's kind of the same thing with this leg as well. This leg is very loose, where this one is not as much, but again, not a big deal. May cause some trouble standing up on his own just with the loose leg, but other than that, not a big deal. But going back to the articulation as far as the arm, so you can do that full 360. You have a swivel right here at the upper part of the arm. You have double jointed elbows that bend in very far, and you also have, of course, side to side and up and down right here on the hands. Now going to the torso, there is a ton of articulation. It's cut into like 3 different sections, so this part up here is actually like a separate piece, and then this part here is a separate piece. So and then you have another swivel down there, so you have, you know, full range of motion side to side, up and back. And then same thing as far as like left to right at this bottom portion that's kind of stuck right now. It's kind of hard to get them to move independently, but yeah, you have this just huge range of motion right here. Really big fan of that. And then as far as the legs go, they can kick forward and also pop off. What I really like though is that it's just very simple to pop these parts back in place on this figure. But yeah, they can move back, they can move forward a little bit. This one not so much because it is hindered by this little piece right here, but he moves back, just not forward that much. You do have double joints at the knees, but they don't really like go that far back, or maybe it's a single joint. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like it's double jointed, but I don't want to force it. So you do get a decent range of motion there. And then you do not have a swivel up here, but you have very far with the foot, very far back, and then you have articulation and swivel right there at the foot. So really, really good articulation. I'm sure there's probably a few more spots in here. I'm not like the best when it comes to articulation and figures, but yeah, that's pretty much everything I can see and that I noticed. So man, this figure, especially for the price, I think this figure is only like 20 bucks, has a lot going for it. Alright you guys, so there's my review of the brand new Loyal Subjects BST AXN Avatar The Last Airbender Cosmic Energy Aang, and overall, I'm really impressed with the figure, other than the fact that it cannot really stand up too much on its own. I mean, at the moment, it's really because he's a little top heavy. I'm sure with the little finagling and whatnot, it would be better. He doesn't have any peg holes on the bottom, which sucks. That would have definitely helped him to be able to stand a little bit, but I'm sure I can figure him out. And once I get him on a more sturdy surface than this, he'll be able to stand up on his own just fine. Overall, I'm really impressed. You get a ton of accessories. You get this really awesome, like, obscure, I don't want to say obscure character, but obscure moment from the show, and I just love seeing like oddball things like this. And the paint on here, like I said, is just phenomenal. I really love all the paint on here, and man, all the different, you know, posability options you get with the different hands and all the different accessories. There's just a lot going for this figure, especially at the price point, so I cannot be any happier. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. That link's in the description down below. And that's pretty much it for me. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. So as always, guys, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.